Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to Train World TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Don't forget, you can shop online at trainworld.com for all your model train needs. Now, without further ado, enjoy today's video. All right, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to a brand new Lionel live stream, and it's the brand new catalog, and we got these beautiful catalogs in, and we're gonna do a flip through tonight of this awesome catalog, and we have the whole Lionel team here. We are honored and excited for Lionel to be a part of this, to go over some of the questions that we had, the public had out there. So we appreciate Lionel having their team on tonight, as well as Ken Sr. from Train World as well. He's on as well. So shout out in the chat where you're from. We see someone from Virginia on tonight as well. And Dad, you just got these in as well. You're not a digital guy. You like the hard
I need a hard copy because on digital I can't read it. It's too small.
But these are awesome, and this is probably the most amount of items in a catalog in a long time. This is awesome, really cool. So let's go around the horn and let's introduce everyone. So, Megan, you want to start and kick it off?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Frazier. I'm a product manager at Lionel. I manage the traditional O ready-to-run sets, rolling stock, and some other pieces as well.
Hey, everybody. Ryan, Director of Project Management at Lionel, and handling mostly on the high end of things, and just privileged to work with this great team every day to make dreams come true.
I'm Ken Bianco, one of the owners of Train World, and my son Ken Jr. allows me to go on these things with him, and I'm very appreciative. It's a lot of fun.
Tracy, I think you're on mute.
Yes. Yep. Hi. My name's Tracy Snowbaker. I'm the newest member, so I have to figure out where the mute button is and everything else here. But I handle rolling or LionChief 2.0 and accessories.
And I am Corey Harwell. I'm a product manager, and I handle most of our in-house North Carolina production, American Flyer, and then a few other things sprinkled here and there.
Awesome. Very good. And we're going to kick off this awesome live stream with an awesome raffle. So we are raffling off. We got here bulkhead flat car, BNSF, and we'll raffle this off tonight. So put in the chat, or if you're on Twitter or Facebook, hashtag thank you Lionel and the state you're from. So hashtag thank you Lionel and the state you're from, and we'll pick out a raffle winner, and we'll ship this off for free, including the new catalog, a hat, and some goodies. So we'll throw that in. So we'll get people going tonight on that. And tonight's all about the new catalog. And I don't know where to start because it's been so long and we got a lot to cover, but we're going to try to get it all done tonight. And I think there's a good possibility, but lots of good stuff in this catalog. And I know my father was excited. So who wants to kick off? And maybe let's start off with the catalog cover.
Well, the catalog cover, we need our creative team on the camera to go over all the goodies there. Those of you who gotten your catalogs in the flesh will know there's 3 different colors that were chosen for the catalog cover, just to make things fun and unique this year. It's our 125th anniversary. The catalog is such a key part of Lionel, and all over most of those 125 years that we really want to make this one to remember. So 3 different covers. There's also a Lenny the Lion hidden somewhere on the cover. So there's something fun for you to look for when you're perusing things. But we also spend a whole lot of time on everything that fills the pages in between the covers, and a lot of great things to talk about. And like you said, Ken, we probably won't be able to cover every single one of those items tonight, so we can get through all of this. But there are plenty of other good reviews of this out there, and the catalog's been out for a few weeks now, so hopefully you've already had some time to digest most of it, and we can hit some of the highlights and some of the things that you've had a lot of questions on from your end.
That's right. And it's 125 years of Lionel. Really a true, a remarkable company for the amount of years they've been in business. I think last time we had this catalog show, we talked about some of the most iconic American companies, and Lionel is truly a part of it. And they've been longer in business than a lot of iconic classics. So they're right up there. So we really, I love this catalog cover, and looking forward to all the 125th anniversary goodies. I guess that's a timeline of history.
Events.
Yes. All right.
So the first section of the catalog features a number of items that pay tribute to our 125 years. These range really all across the product line spectrum, but all of them tie into our history one way or another. Some of them are pure celebration pieces. Some of them are reminiscent of items that we've done in the past. On the scale side of things, of course, one of the big engines in the new catalog is the newly retooled Commodore Vanderbilt, and this is a locomotive that's been seen in our line many times, almost probably more frequently than the real one, which only lasted in the streamlining for a few years. But here we've got, of course, the gold-plated version, which is a great companion to those who may have picked up the non-streamlined J1E gold-plated from 2000. Or a wonderful standalone on its own, of course. And then also 2 that throw back to the early template versions of this locomotive that Lionel had done in a variety of scales. One in blue, one in red, and these will have a great gloss finish to them with the metal plates and so forth. All the same wonderful, great legacy features that you're used to in a modern steam engine with the classic look. And then to give you something to pull behind them, we've got the matching 4-packs in either the blue or red with the, again, a glossier tinplate inspired finish so that they'll suitably match, but all of our current tooling and features on our 18-inch passenger cars.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And we did a influencer talk show about what they liked from the catalog, and both Chris and Ben definitely liked the Commodore Vanderbilt Hudsons. I think Ben liked the gold, and Chris was more of the classic style. But blue is actually one of the best-selling locomotives. So a lot of people like the blue, and it does have a really nice look to it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Ken Senior, I don't know if you remember, there was the blue. Was it the Blue Shriek? Right.
Blue Streak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then the red was a classic as well, correct?
Yes, definitely. Both of them were inspired by trains from the 1930s.
Right.
When it first came out, it was done in red and blue and black, and then I think eventually gray came along. But the first three were red, blue, and black, and we went with the red and the blue for this go around as a nice throwback gesture.
Right.
Yeah. Ryan, does the gold engine come with a number board at all?
You mean like a certificate or separately numbered?
A number on, like a number plate under where the cab is.
There's the lettering is printed on there on the side of the locomotive. There is we, in place of the New York Central oval on the nose, we put the circle L Lionel piece in there. So that'll be will have to be a separately applied piece because of the way the body is tooled. And then there will be separate numbering, like we do with all of our Vision engines, of course, but especially with these will be will have the unique numbering on the underside as well.
And that actually says Joshua Lionel Cohen, so the founder, Lionel Lines. Nice little touch. Nice stuff.
And these will be basically built to order, and each engine will be numbered right to the last one.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Everything you see here on these pages will be a build to order item. So good to bring that up now as we get those orders in from all of you over the next couple of weeks. We've got about another week and a half or so left to collect orders, and then the team gathers together, compiles the list, and puts orders together for the factory so that we can get a production schedule done up and start working on production to have these delivered for you, hopefully by the end of this year.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Some more scale items inspired by pieces from our traditional past. The Pennsylvania S2, another one of those classic engines that, there was only one and done and didn't last that long in the real world, but became an icon in the model world thanks to Lionel. So we've got that as a nice throwback here to our earlier versions. A little different than some of the other versions you'll see later in the catalog. Some of the things, rods, lettering that's inspired by the colors and fonts used in original Lionel, not necessarily pure Pennsylvania. And we will do the air whistle as one of the 5 different legacy whistle options in here. So you'll have the quilling air whistle. Again, a nice little throwback to the earlier days. And then, one of Lionel's best-selling locomotives of all time, just in terms of the years and years of production, was the 242 Scout engine. And we've never done a legacy 242. So using our A6 Atlantic as the starting point, we thought, well, this might be a fun one to do. So new pilot and trailing trucks for this one. And you'll have all those same great legacy features with the Lionel lines, lettering. Perfect little locomotive for a freight or passenger train, and it's a nice small scale engine. So while it's scale size and you can put it with scale rolling stock, it's also small enough that traditional or standard O, other types of cars won't look bad behind it either. So a really nice option for those who like scale and like small layouts or small locomotives. And 2 more sets, a pre-war inspired set with the Vision Hudson. Here in the dark gray with the Vanderbilt tender. We've got a Freight Sounds boxcar in there, gondola, tank car, Vision line caboose. Again, all will have the glossier finish. They'll all have the separately applied metal name badges to give them that pre-war look and feel with all the features and benefits of a modern Lionel scale train. And then throwing back to the post-war years, the Lackawanna Trainmaster, a really great popular one. Of course, we had to do the red roof version of the Trainmaster. Some rolling stock that harkens back to those same catalog periods, but done in scale format. We've got the hot box reefer in there in place of an operating milk car, because we haven't done that yet in scale, and a bay window caboose there on the end as well.
Ryan, on the pre-war steam engine there, the tender on it, is it the same size as the Halloween engine tender, the F-19?
Yes, it's the 6-wheel Vanderbilt tender, so same size as the ones that just came on the F-19. Saw someone had a question, will that have the air whistle sound option on it too? Yes, definitely we'll put that option in there as well, as one of the 5 whistles.
It's a big, huge tender on that, so it looks impressive for sure. Very impressive.
Now, what was that Hudson offered separately, or is this exclusively for this set?
That Hudson there is available only in the set.
Oh, wow.
The Lionel Lines version with the Vandy tender is available only as part of the set.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Looks good. And that's obviously a throwback to the original. Really cool. And your the pre-war sets and post-war sets, they've actually become really collectible. The last one that we just got in, Ken Senior could talk to this. The AEC set that just came in like a month ago.
I'm not sure which set.
Sure, from volume 2 last year, I think, or volume 1 and volume 2.
Yeah, the glow in the dark set.
Yeah, that was really well received.
People are looking all over for it. It's like, and that's why pre-ordering is so important. And I'm glad everybody here is watching the show tonight, because a lot of times, a lot of people miss these things that they do like. They don't get a chance to pre-order, but a lot of these sets are gone, and it's really unbelievable. So that one did very well, and this one I didn't even catch that flipping through. So this is really nice. Like
we were pleasantly surprised by the Area 51 AEC set. So you'll see some follow-up add-on cars in this catalog, and probably more to come as well. Really fun when something like that, again, harkens back to our past, but need to bring those things back again in a new way and breathe some life into them once more. I did see one other question in the chat on the pre-war set about the air whistle in the caboose, as well as in the tender. The whistle in the locomotive is based off of that classic Lionel traditional conventional controlled sound. The air whistle in the caboose is based off of a peanut whistle that you'd find on the prototype cabooses for when they're doing backup moves. So that'll be the same sound set that we've used in the past there. So same term, but very different use and different sound sets.
Very neat.
Good.
Now, these are more starter sets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, these are on the traditional end of the spectrum here with your ready-to-run starter sets. We have 2 really great throwback sets here. Back in 2024, we introduced the Prairie locomotive with all new tooling back into the lineup with a freight set. This time around, we are doing the 1430 WS passenger set with the great Lionel Lines passenger coaches to go along with it. Full loop of track, LionChief on board, comes with the remote control. Again, and it really hits up that Prairie locomotive this time with the 2075 cab number on it. Additionally, for the first time in a very long time, we have a conventionally operated set, bringing back transformer control with the 125th New York Central catalog conventional train set. The reason we call it a catalog conventional train set is because this particular set has never really been produced. While it was shown in a catalog back in 1948 and 1949, the car configuration as well as the paint scheme within this set was never produced. Has the Southern Pacific automobile car in it. It has the great dump car, the snow car, and the classic Lionel caboose on it. This comes with your CW80 transformer. Again, all conventional control with rail silence on board.
A lot of people do ask for that conventional stuff. The high-tech stuff scares them on some people, and they just like to run the old stuff. So this is perfect for them. Perfect.
And this set also includes a full loop of track. It actually includes some additional pieces of track, including a remote control operating section, so you can do that dump car. But because the set is so long, we give you some additional pieces of track in there, so you still have everything you need to run this set.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right, well, up top on the left, have a couple boxcars here. The first is really a nod to our co-founder, Joshua Lionel Cohen, an engineer, an inventor, a really brilliant man. And we included some just some fun facts about his legacy on the car itself. And of course, this is falling in line with the overall 125th theme, that blue and gold and black and such. So again, it would be our in-house production. And then the car below it is a new painting by Thomas Kincaid. It's called Santa's Final Touch, a Lionel Legacy. This is honestly probably one of my favorite cars out of the entire collection for those who might be have all the cars. If you look closely at the painting itself, Santa is, of course, adding his final touches to his layout. He's holding his own Hudson. There's a picture on the back of one of the most iconic Kincaid paintings, A Christmas Wish, and on and on and on. So the closer you look at that painting, the more surprise and delights pop out. And again, that gold and blue touch to really take it back to the 125th.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Santa doesn't get too distracted with those trains. He's got a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Very neat.
Good looking car. Good looking car.
Yeah.
Yeah, throughout these pages, you're going to see in the 125th section that really great 125th logo that we created with the flat car and piggybacks, as well as the 125th boxcars in all scales. So whether it's O scale, traditional O, HO, or American Flyer, we cover a version of the deco for those across all of the scales there, with the dancing celebratory Lenny within the door when you open it on all of them. And then I did want to give Tracy a moment to talk a little bit about the Angela Trotta Thomas LC2 Pacific.
Yeah, we have other specifics later in the book as well. But for this one, Angela designed the back with all the trains on it, which really looks sharp. The black and gold, again, and bronze kind of going towards our logo for the 125th. But again, the LC2, it has all your typical LionChief 2.0 amenities to it. And it really looks sharp, and it has the more common of the and famous of the trains in the design.
And the paint job is excellent. I like the way it goes round in the front there. It makes it look like a whole different style engine.
Yeah, it's really sharp. Stands out whether you put it on your train or just have it as a collector item. It's really sharp. She did a great job.
Mm. She always does.
You want us next page or? Yep. All right.
And here we have our hand cars, kind of like the same as with Polar Express and some of the other ones that we have done in the past. They, instead of doing a gold-plated one, we did a bronze-plated there at the bottom of the page, just to, again, harken back to the 125th anniversary. They all come with a special key, and the key will be the 125th logo, just to add that extra touch to it as well. Lenny all dressed up in his 125th attire that Lionel has used for publications throughout this year. You'll see Lenny a lot in that tuxedo. And then, of course, Santa Claus, because, everyone loves Santa along with Lenny. So works out really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Next. All right. Got some pens.
Yeah, there are lots of opportunity. We partnered with a lot of different brands this year for the 125th anniversary. So I suggest everyone kind of taking a look at those pages and reaching out where you can to get those types of items.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to the Hudsons, which we kind of already did a whole separate show. So we're not going to go too in depth with this, but Rye, if you just want to touch up,
Sure.
the order deadline is already passed, or
No, the order deadline will be the same as the rest of the catalog.
Okay.
We kept orders open on these through the first volume, through the first catalog this year. As you mentioned, we've done a great program on these already, so I invite you all to go back and check out some of the back pages in Train World TV there, and you'll see a wonderful talk up on these. Really revisited this locomotive, bringing back one of Lionel's truly, top 3 icons of all time. Retooled the boiler. You've got the swinging bell, whistle steam, stack smoke, bicolor LEDs, road specific crew talk. All the wonderful legacy features that we've got in there. Wonderfully detailed model, a whole host of different options here. The 5344 is sort of our throwback to the original J1E. Others are all done up in a variety of road specific detail variations to match the different changes that they saw on the Central over the years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I was surprised, Ryan, that the ones with the blow down tenders are 072 track it runs on, and we got more orders for the 072 track versions than the others. I mean, everybody's expanding their layouts and going wider and bigger so they can handle all these great features on these big engines. It's always, you always got to think about expanding just so you can get some of these great masterpieces that you guys are creating.
Well, thank you again. And one of our challenges in this catalog is to try and provide, a little something for everybody, whether you've got the 072 big layouts or not. So hopefully you all find a little something in here that suits your needs and wants.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about the Hudsons, we also just released some artwork that's kind of been finalized, but this is our Train World exclusive for the Hudson. And it really came out awesome. One of our guys, Anthony, and my father was kind of working on it back and forth, and Lionel team was working with them. And I know it's not easy to go through all the changes my father requests all the time. So we appreciate everybody's effort on going at it. But it really came out unbelievable. And Lionel, as usual, they really take the time and effort, and it came out really dynamite. And I know I give my father grief on how much time and exact preciseness he goes back and forth, but he really did a great job, because I gave up after the first the drawing, but he really wanted to make it really something special, and they truly did.
Okay. Ryan, let me ask you something. On the smaller tenders on the Hudsons, is there a way in the future to make those blow down?
Those tenders did have a water scoop underneath, but they did not have the exhaust ports that the bigger PT tenders had. So the only place that the water came out of those was when the tank was full. It would just blow open the hatch on the top of the tender and cascade off the back of the tender like a waterfall.
Okay.
That is probably not a 3-rail friendly feature that we could incorporate into the tenders. I don't think you want it pouring water out all over your track. So it's a little bit more challenging on those. But yeah, that's why we do it with the PT tender. They were specially designed with these exhaust nozzles, basically, to help defray the force of the water coming up into the tank, because the Central like to take the track pans at speeds up to 80 miles an hour, and they needed a way to relieve some of that pressure without blowing out the windows in passing trains. So yeah, interesting little piece there. It's something we've looked at for other tender designs, but that was, as far as I can tell so far, pretty unique to the New York Central's PT tenders.
Okay. Yeah.
And then if you do want that the specialized tender, you're going to have to get that set for the gray Hudson, but all lots of great options for sure.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Here we've got some separate add-on cars for the Niagara Falls Deluxe, a fun train that ran from Detroit to Buffalo via Canada, Canada side of the lakes. So one of the Lions West locomotives, and this great chocolate and cream New York Central Lines livery on these. Should be a real fun one. The prototype train was only 6 cars long, so you can get the whole thing in just the 3 2-packs.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Is that the actual road number of the train that did run that way?
Yes, we all the numbers came from the photos of the actual cars and rosters where I couldn't find the photos.
Cool.
Of course, back to our streamlined Commodores again. Again, all new tooling on these. 2 different varieties of the prototype. After the first year in service, actually, I don't even have made it quite the full year even. They did some rework on it. Most of the changes were internal, but external, it got disc drivers and roller bearing side rods. So both of those are represented on the later version here. That'll be the difference between the 2 New York Central variations here, the Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably my personal favorite in the catalog is the 20th Century Limited set. And I say that as a diehard Pensy guy. This is a really, really fun set that was a lot of fun to research and add some tidbits in. We were just meeting with Tracy, our audio engineer Tracy, this week, talking about some of the dialogue sets and setup for these cars. In addition to the Hudson locomotive, you've got 6 passenger cars in the train, and 4 of them have sounds. So, of course, you have our standard station sounds diner, which will be putting some new sound sets and things in there as well. But then also for the first time, a sleeper sounds car, which will feature voices of passengers and the Pullman porters making up the berths at night and so forth. And then 2 lounge cars as well. The lounge behind in the combine, right behind the engine, was more of the gentleman's club of the train. That might not be the right word for that actually, as it comes out of my mouth. But the more of a smoking lounge with stock tickers going and things like that. The barber shop was also located in this car, and then the observation at the rear of the train was geared more towards the ladies, with car attendants who were trained in giving manicures and a different sort of food menu and so forth in the observation car. So you get those 4 sound cars and then 2 additional non-sound equipped Pullman cars to build out a 6-car train here. And just a really fun piece. All the cars will have a gloss finish, so that they look like they came right out the wash track. Here for the train, which is what you would expect for the 20th century. So a lot of really fun little tidbits. It's fun doing the research here. Little things like how much the haircut. We know how much the haircuts cost in the barbershop and stuff like that. So put some fun in here and have some fun with it. Also, like the new Vision auto rack that we'll get to in just a couple of pages, with these new soundboards. These cars have an impact sensor, so we may have some fun with that in the passenger cars as well. You may, have to handle your train carefully so you don't wake up sleeping passengers or knock over dishes in the dining car, things like that.
Very cool.
Having some fun and throwing some Easter eggs into this one.
Cool. And the pacemaker Hudson, do you know if that is going to be more glossy or satin?
That should have a bit of a gloss finish to it as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, your UPS driver may not love that set, but Ryan sure does.
I'm hoping it's a little bit lighter than the
triplex
2% that we did last year. That was 4 pounds over the limit, I understand, to require a team lift sticker on it from the UPS drivers. So all the UPS delivery guys out there, my bad. But for everyone who's seen that set or picked up one, it is a beautiful set and quite a sight when you've got it all lined out.
Yeah. Ryan, the tender on this, what do you call it? This 20th Century Limited set. The tender, is that the same size as the other tenders?
Yes, it's the standard 6-axle tender.
Okay. Yeah.
With the 20th century, it ran in so many sections and for so long that there were so many cars used and so many varieties in it. We did our best to sort of pick a quote unquote typical consist, and try and do things a little bit on the norm. But there was a lot of variation as well. And as I said, they ran multiple sections each day, typically an average of 3 trains each way each day between New York and Chicago, all running as the 20th Century Limited. So you had to, when you got on the train, you had to know which section you had a seat on. So we've got some additional cars here available separate sale, the Combine and Observation, two packs of sleeping cars, and then 2 different dining cars. If you wanted to expand the set, you could add some of the sleeping cars into there, for example, or if you want to build out your own train without going the giant set route, this presents an option there too. All of these cars will also have a gloss finish like the ones in the set. We did 2 different numbers or 2 different styles on the dining cars. One carries New York Central lettering, one New York Central Lines lettering. The reason behind that, the dining car actually didn't stay with the train the whole trip. They would cut it out mid-route. So after dinner was served, it would get cut out in the middle of the night, and then replaced with another car on the other side of Buffalo, or vice versa. And so at this period, the New York Central was still 2 different operating regions. So west of Buffalo, actually west of Cleveland, it would have had the New York Central Lines lettering on the dining car, and east of Buffalo would have been the New York Central lettering. So most passengers probably didn't know they had dinner and breakfast in different cars, but they did. And just sort of another neat part of this, if you're building a train to go behind your Commodore Vanderbilt Streamline engine, then you would probably want to go with the Lionel Lines, the New York Central Lines version of the dining car. That was typically a Lines West locomotive when it was streamlined on the New York Central as well.
And is each car, sound car, addressed separately with the Cab 2 or Cab 3 app to activate the sounds? Or
yes, you can address each one separately and then put them in the train link so you can call them up individually. If you give them all the same number, same address, it's going to sound like middle of Grand Central Station at rush hour when you hit the talk buttons, I'm sure. But you'll be able to then call each one up individually as you go through the journey.
Awesome. This is an awesome paint scheme.
Yeah, so our modern set for this go around, our Florida East Coast auto rack train, the brand new FEC paint scheme, in these really cool colors and cool graphics on the locomotive. If we were going to come up with a fantasy paint scheme, I don't know if we'd have quite that crazy, but it really works. And then you've got 4 auto racks in this train, 3 that are standard scale length auto racks, the Conrail, the graffiti car with full size graffiti both sides. I believe CSX is the 3rd one. And then at the end of the train, our Florida East Coast Vision Line auto rack, and that has a whole bunch of fun features packed in there. It has the operating end of train device. It has the that you can take off as well if you want to get multiples of these and put them mid-train. And it has the sounds and lighting effects. So you'll get, like our Vision reefers or other freight cars, you'll have different loading and unloading sequences. You'll have the freight sounds in motion. And then, as I mentioned, these have the new impact sensor on them. So if you couple too hard or run the slack out, in this case, it will trip the car alarms inside the auto rack. You'll get the sound of car alarms blaring, and then I believe there's something like 64 LEDs inside here to represent the headlights and taillights of the cars going off. And you got to see this one at Amherst, Ken, and get some video of Dave demoing it. So
yeah, right. This was awesome, and this is why doing these catalog shows. And we actually went to Amherst. We saw Lionel. They had an amazing display at Amherst Train Show, and Dave actually showed me an example, and I didn't even know this was in the catalog. It was unbelievable, and this is like brand new. I don't think anyone's ever really done anything like this. It was really unique that I've ever seen. But we're going to show a little clip that our marketing team put together. So hang tight.
All right, we're going around the horn with the Lionel team, and we got Dave. And Dave, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, today we got a prototype of the Vision Line Auto Rack featured in the new 25C1 book, the big book. So everybody knows our very large auto racks from previous years. This time we've decided to put a slew of electronics in them to really bring a new sound and lighting features effect to your layout. This one features an end-of-train device, but it will also have full legacy rail sounds in it, so that you'll have loading and unloading sequences like you're used to with such as the Vision Line reefer cars or the box cars. But new for this model is also an impact sensor. So if you back into the car too hard or it takes a good bump, it'll actually set off the alarms and the car alarms inside of the auto carrier. And I can demonstrate that too. You can use the aux3 key with it.
So that was really awesome. I was pretty amazed by that with the car alarms and the sound and all the different lights. It was pretty neat.
Yeah. When I was at the Amherst show, I walked by your booth there 3 times, and I didn't see it, didn't notice it. And then my son showed me something when we got back to the shop, and I said, "Who did that? Where did you get that?" And I said, "Who's at your booth?" And I said, "I didn't see it." And then I asked my Lionel rep, John, I said, "Well, why weren't they playing it all day long?" And they said, "The people complain over there that they make too much noise."
Yeah, you can only listen to car alarms for so long, Ken, before.
Yeah.
This is without a doubt the best thing in the catalog, and nobody knows yet. I tell you,
Everybody thought it was a real car alarm going off. Very cool.
And so, yeah, we do have 6 varieties of these different road names, all available separate sale as well. So for those who have existing trains and want to get one of these and mix it in with their consist, by all means, go for it. But yeah, this one's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Very neat. All right, Steam.
All right, we'll keep it short and simple on some of these. We've mentioned the S2s a little bit at the beginning. Variety of prototypical and some definitely not prototypical paint schemes on these, inspired by some of our fun fantasy engines of recent past. But a lot of work going into this as well. The new smoke lifters being added, and Dave and team are working really hard to add some new sound effects in here as well, so that you'll be able to, for the first time, toggle between prototypical steam turbine sounds, which is really just sort of a whoosh, and then there was a smaller turbine for reverse movement, so that'll have a different pitch, or you'll be able to toggle over to a chuffing sound. So if you want the 4 chuffs per revolution that you're used to in a steam locomotive, you'll be able to have that as well.
I tell you, at the Amherst show there, it pays for all of these operators and collectors to go to these shows that you are at to see these pre-samples and paint jobs and actually see the size of these. The S2 is tremendous. It's huge. It's a very, very impressive engine, and definitely worth taking a peek when you see it at a train show for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big chunk of metal for sure on this one. And then when you compare it to the Heislers here on the next page, these look even more diminutive by comparison. So fitting all of those same great features with the whistle steam and the legacy and Bluetooth control and all the lighting and sounds, not to mention the complete gear train underneath this little guy, is really the challenge in the design and build on these. But they have a charm all of their own for sure.
Very neat.
And then last but not least for Steam, we've got some more of our Atlantics. I mentioned some of the great features of this one earlier on with the throwback Scout locomotive. Some fun, colorful new paint schemes on here. And again, another wonderful locomotive for smaller layouts that's very small curve and small train friendly. Lots of heritage units in this catalog. We've got the next 5 for CSX. We've got 5 additional ones for Norfolk Southern. This is the sort of the second go around on the NS heritage units, and our first round through with CSX. We haven't covered all the CSX units yet, but we certainly will. The railroads are pumping them out faster than we can right now. All the heritage units will be available in both full legacy and power, with sounds and smoke, etc., or a non-powered version for those who are looking for a shelf piece, or just building a huge collection of heritage units and don't necessarily need all your features in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the redo of the NS heritage fleet. It's been over 10 years now since the first run of these was produced. These will all be very similar to the first run was done way back in 2012. Although now these will have the modern PTC antenna on the roof. If there were things that were caught in the first rounds with colors and things that weren't right, we've tried to correct. But for the most part, these were pretty good the first time around, and so we've kept colors the same, including using the old SDK colored chips on these wherever practical to keep colors consistent with the first round of production.
Ryan, on the Southern one, is that going to be green or black?
It's green.
Green. Okay.
Yeah. And then we introduced it for the first time with the traditional set in the last catalog, but the first run of scale CPKC ES44s here in the catalog in this great new paint scheme, and had a lot of requests to bring back the original CN website scheme as well. So those two round out the ES44s in this round with 2 road numbers each, both powered.
KC, really cool, sharp looking paint scheme, done very well on pre-orders.
Another Lionel post-war classic, the Trainmaster. Variety of road names here, some paint schemes that we hadn't done in quite a while, some roads we hadn't done in a while. The Chicago Northwestern and Milwaukee Road, both based off of those roads, had what were kind of known as baby Trainmasters, a little bit smaller than the prototype for our model, but such great paint schemes, we wanted to throw those in there as well. 2 road numbers for each, just like you see them oriented here in the catalog. Long hood or short hood forward, different lighting and walkway arrangements as well, depending on the prototype. Another round of GP35s. Again, some paint schemes that had not been done before or hadn't been done in quite a long time. 2 road numbers each. For the most part, they're all identical from one to the next. There were a few deco and detail differences in the 2 ICG locomotives. We pictured both of those here, but otherwise they all are the same for both road numbers. Again, a lot of great features on these small railroad friendly 031 curves. Nice mid-sized diesel locomotive. All right, we had a lot of fun with our tunnel motors this go around for a locomotive that started off as sort of a uniquely Rio Grande and Southern Pacific engine. These have now wandered far and wide. Had a chance to talk at Amherst with someone who's got some connections with the Wheeling and Lake Erie. They were really happy to see the updated versions of these in here, and probably the standout on these, I think, has to be that beat up, weathered Union Pacific patched SP job there in the upper right corner. This has been something we've been trying a little bit more over the last few catalogs, adding in some of the prototypical weathering effects, patched out panels, rust streaks, grime, faded lettering.
That's pretty cool.
That those who want a more accurate appearance can get a good start on that fresh out the box. Of course, if you love doing this sort of detail work yourself, why not? You could definitely add some more powders and rust streaks and so forth on your own to even further the effect, but definitely gives you a good head start on some grime.
Very neat.
FAs. These will be available as an AA 2-pack, where both units are powered with smoke and lights. One unit has sounds, one unit does not. And then 2 additional B units if you want to add on. One powered without sound, one non-powered with the super bass sounds and speakers in there to give it the extra low-end bass sound that really adds a lot to the consist. Again, a whole host of paint schemes in here. The Santa Fe definitely has gotten a lot of attention. It's a throwback to another Lionel classic. The Santa Fe never had the FA2s, but this was one of those sort of whimsy Lionel paint schemes that just really seemed to work, and wanted to bring it back here for this catalog for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Going along with that idea of weathered trains, the Donner Pass freight set. This features a whole consist of trains that look like they've been out in the weather for a little while, which the Southern Pacific was pretty well known for. The SD40 in this one has the unique on one side mixed up lettering. This went through the shop, and then they were in a hurry to put the doors back on apparently, and so I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it, but it's not Southern Pacific anymore. So we did that on one side. The other side is spelled correctly, just like the prototype. All of the rolling stock in here also has a little bit of fading and weathering to it. You've got a Freight Sounds PS1 boxcar, and then some of our former Lion Scale line of tooling, all with a little bit of weathering applied. No graffiti on this set. A little bit of an earlier era. Things weren't totally covered up in tags and paint just yet, but still a nice little bit of grime and dust and rust to help tell the story of a train that was hard at work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, these auto racks do not have the sound, correct? And that's the difference between the Vision Line auto rack and the regular auto racks?
Correct. These are our standard cars. These also still have the opening doors, the see-through side panels, the kinematic couplers, so they'll operate all the way down to an 054 curve, and lots of great detail. You could, I'm sure, load these up with some of your autos if you'd like. But really fun cars, and again, true scale size, so they're about 2 feet long each, and can really fill up a train layout.
Yeah.
You mentioned the AEC set earlier. We've got the add-on car here with the glow-in-the-dark canisters.
People are going to go crazy for that.
Another real fun one. And then also some more of our Freight Sounds cars. These work on any layout. You don't need command control. You just put them on. They roll and make the sounds as they go. And then, as we talked about a little bit in the 20th Century Limited set, the new Sleeper Sounds Pullmans. These are done the dark green and two-tone gray Pullman cars from their pool fleet. So they would wander the country and are great for any train that you could have put it in there. So they'll be designed. The sound sets will be designed so that you can put them in any consist if you want to add these fun features to the train you already have. What better way than a car that could wander the country and go where needed? And then the Minutemen car as well. That was a little bit more regional. It was used on the Northeast Corridor, but we'll have some fun sound sets in there as well. And that's all new tooling on those cars also. It's a newly tooled body style and interior, newly tooled roof as well with the air conditioner ducts on the roof. So it gives us, again, some more options to add some more variety into our 18-inch passenger cars and our heavyweights going forward.
And the sounds on the Sleeper Sounds, is that train boarding announcements, calling out a train, or station sound diners?
These won't call out a specific train name. They'll talk about perhaps the sleeping car, the car name, and so forth in there. It'll be some different sound sets. So if you have the Station Sounds Diner and you have this, you'll have some variety as the trains are moving when you call the two different cars up.
Awesome. And for some reason, Main Central has been hot for the past 2 years. It's like getting crazy. I don't know why. The paint scheme is pretty, but just popped out of nowhere. Crazy.
And then some more cabooses. And then Tracy actually did a great job on these little disconnect cars. So I'll let him talk about those for a minute.
Yeah, we just, with U.S. celebrating a huge birthday coming up next year, for those who kind of want to get ahead of it a little bit and have stuff ready for your set, we have some American-themed discount or disconnects. We took the one in the middle with the rocket and changed it up a little bit. Those are usually the disconnect logs. Chose to do a rocket, kind of like a fireworks display. The picture doesn't exactly show. The stick will not come out to where you cannot connect. So you will be able to connect these to your set. That image is a little deceiving in that sense, but
and you can't light a fuse, correct?
I would suggest not. I don't think it will blow up unless you tweak it the way you want.
Maybe next year we do orange LEDs on the end. But very cool.
We'll have that for the actual birthday.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Those are nice.
Yeah. Again, a variety of freight cars here to sort of round out the scale section. These will be some of our, again, more of our graffiti cars. We did 2 road numbers each for Railbox, both clean and dirty, because that's always one of the best sellers, as well as some fun short line names on these cars as well. So neat little pieces there. You can't have, if you're modeling anything from the 1970s on, you can't have enough Railboxes on your roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
Coppers as well, and multiple car numbers, so you can build a nice string real quickly.
Bicentennial always does well. 1776. Nice. Should match the 40-2s.
Again, some 40-foot tank cars. This will be the first time we've run this. This is the old Weaver tooling, but the first time we've run these cars since acquiring that. And a nice classic steam era double door boxcar.
All right. Right, you're off the hook.
Whew.
Who's next?
Get the rest of them.
So we got to do an intermission. That was so much high-end stuff. Really cool.
So these are the Steam LionChief 2.0s. 3 of them are your traditional designs. The Redding on the bottom left, we took a little liberty with. It was a design on a different train, but we added the Crusader to this one. It has your typical and traditional Lion 2.0 whistle sounds and all the accessories that go with it.
I thought these paint schemes were some of the best in the catalog. I thought all of them were beautiful, just really unique, different, and even the B&O, like that's beautiful, gorgeous.
Good looking stuff. Good looking.
The Crusader, something different, just really unique. I like them a lot.
Good. That's what we go for. And then these are the diesels, LionChief 2.0. The engines both have power. Then the one in the middle to go with it, or the extra piece that you can add to your set if you choose to.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, you can never get tired of Santa Fe red and silver. The orders are coming in. They just can't get enough. Santa Fe is always popular.
Passenger cars to match.
All right. Speaking of unique and a little bit different, our new line of battery-operated O-gauge train sets, or what we just simply like to call Battery O. As the name suggests, these are battery-operated sets. Very simple. You just need 4 AA batteries for the engine and 3 AAA batteries for the remote. Some of our sets actually have illuminated passenger cars. So you will need, I believe in this case, 2 AAA batteries. Again, those are activated by a little button underneath. But if you're looking for a train set that maybe you're not ready to jump into quite the electric train budget and you need something that's maybe a little bit more affordable, but you don't want to sacrifice too many of those features that you really enjoy. These are the perfect sets for you. Within the battery operated sets here, there are levels of feature enrichedness, so we'll kind of get to that in a moment. But on this page here, these are what I'd like to call like the lower end on that scale. So these are going to be priced around that 129, or in the case of Thomas, 79.99 range. They're going to have operating headlights. They're going to have a water vapor smoke effect, that fun remote, especially if you're a kid, you want to pick that remote up and have fun. They're going to come with a complete expansion track that will be plastic as opposed to the fast track. But one of the coolest things about the battery operated sets here is that you can actually take them and put them on your existing fast track layout and run, and they can also pull your existing traditional rolling stock. So it's kind of the perfect way to step up, like say you're entering into the hobby and you want to kind of eventually get there. Maybe you want to have a full layout one day with your I don't know, dad, grandfather, or whomever that may be. This is really the perfect way to do it. And if you go to the next page, I'll kind of expand a bit more on what I mean by some of our more feature enriched sets. These sets here actually have a 3-position switch located on the, it'll either be on the side or the top of the engine cab. And essentially you can either choose to operate your train via Bluetooth, or you can run conventionally, or with your remote, which will be included in your set. You'll still get your water vapor smoke effect. You'll still get those fun illuminated cars. You'll still get all the track. These sets actually come with roadside accessories. Again, in that price point that is really attracted to someone, first getting in. And they also make really great gifts as well. I should say that. And then if you keep going even further, I'll show you a couple of our license sets, which would include our, of course, we wouldn't want to miss an opportunity to bring Polar Express here, and also the Hogwarts Express, 2 of the most popular trains that we make at Lionel. What's really cool is these are really replicas of the actual train that you see featured in the movie, with all those fun details. And again, you're going to have that Bluetooth operation, or run conventionally, or, use that remote, whatever you choose to do. And we will eventually be offering ways to expand even these sets. Or you could check out some of the cars in Megan's traditional line that are amazing, and you could add on to these trains, or vice versa. So super excited to bring this to market, and I think it's going to be a real hit. And a way to grow the hobby in a significant way.
Yeah, and I will say all these battery sets in the store sold very well. Whenever, anytime during Christmas time, it gets crazy and people need gifts to give. This was an awesome gift giving set because the price was affordable, and it's something to get people into the hobby. And that's what model trains are all about. So Lionel is really getting at a great price point here. And some of the other battery sets we sell, it doesn't come with this amount of play value and the size and the remote and the quality. So Lionel really did a great job with all these different battery sets. And I also saw some collectors, they put the battery sets on their actual layout. So it's pretty unique and different. So they did a great job with this stuff.
Moving into our electrically operated LionChief set, we have the U.S. Navy celebrating 250 years this year. What better way to celebrate than to have a new Great Navy train set on your layout? This set's great because it comes with some really cool freight cars on it, including a submarine based off of a prototypical submarine that the Navy had for their search and rescue, as well as a derrick car with a manually operated boom and a lighted caboose. We also have some great add-on opportunities there with the flat car with piggyback trailers. A few years back, we also did a different piece of rolling stock that had a submarine there, and all these colors kind of mesh well together. And I definitely wanted to give Tracy an opportunity to talk about the command control guarantee crane, which is coming back in a few different paint schemes this year.
Yeah, we have three of them. They're TMCC controlled. The controls the electromagnet, the lighting, the raising and lowering of the hook, the cab rotation, and also you'll be able to move it along, especially track, sold separately. But you'll be able to interact with your devices, just like we think it's been 2016 since the last time that we had done them. There's three of them throughout the catalog. The two of them are kind of more fantasy stuff. The one that's in the 125th is actually the design of the first one that Lionel did. So it will look just like the first one, except it will just have the modern conveniences. So.
And this comes with track as well, or is it
it does not.
Okay, so it's more of a premium set.
A little different track to be able to run the
okay.
crane.
All right, giving a fresh update to the dealer exclusive Pennsylvania Keystone set. This is a year-over-year set that just does great in a classic road name. You can't go wrong with Pennsylvania. This set takes homage to the York Paper Company, the American Bridge Company, and those great Pennsylvania Railroad markings on those. Comes with all you need to get started, LionChief on board, and a great loop of track. What's fun about that bridge, too, is that you can take it off and place it on your layout should you choose.
Nice.
We also have some great add-on separate sale rolling stock pieces. One of the most popular schemes that we seem to keep getting requests for is Kitty City items. So this time again, because we're celebrating our 125th anniversary, not necessarily 125th themed, but having the great classic Lionel Kitty City decoration on those piggyback trailers, that they came out really cool. And with a fantasy scheme, we have the Liberty Eagle Rail, again, getting a little jump on the America's Birthday next year.
And then it's been about 20 years, but we brought back the cleaning cars for the tracks. You'll just attach them to your train, and as they'll clean the tracks as you're running your equipment. So one will put the cleaning stuff on the track, and then the other pad will clean it. There'll be two pads there'll be an extra set of pads in the set purchase. So.
Every layout needs a track cleaning car. That's for sure.
Gotta keep it running.
We have some great separate sale LionChief 080s. The 080s are always a favorite. We have some great fantasy and prototypical schemes here. My favorite being the Baltimore and Ohio. That blue on that is always a striking color. Again, all the great LionChief features can run with the Cab 3 app, LionChief app, or the Universal Remote.
It's funny. Everybody's talking about Kitty City. I thought you guys made up Kitty City.
It is real. It existed.
Cool.
Additionally, we have LionChief RS3s in the diesel world. Great paint schemes here. New Haven being my favorite. Again, able to run with the Universal Remote or Cav 3 app. A great way if you like to kind of piecemeal your layout or just add different locomotives to your sets. This is a great way to do it.
Oh. Dun, 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 dun.
I don't think I can get a better intro than that, Ken.
Sorry, that was a little lackluster, but I figured that someone would hop in on the excitement. Star Wars is in model trains. It's been forever. Everybody's been asking, why can't you do Star Wars? Why can't you do Star Wars? But now the time has finally come.
Star Wars is probably one of the most requested licenses that we get asked to produce. It's been a long time coming. A lot of hard hard work went into acquiring this license, and a lot of hard work with our creative team and the Disney and Lucasfilm PD teams went into these great items. Again, each set here, no matter which way you choose, whether you're dark side or light side, you have the Empire set or the Rebel set, both come with the great RS3 locomotives. All of the rolling stock MIT cars that come with it feature iconic scenes from the original trilogy, interior lighting as well. What's really fun and unique about these sets is each one comes with like a really creative and fun liquid-filled tank car. For the Empire set, you have the lava magma tank car for Mustafar. Really great kind of fun piece inside of there is that it's actually going to have like floating volcanic ash within it. So it's not just going to be the liquid. There's going to be some simulated rock kind of floating on top of that there. Additionally, both sets here do feature official sounds from the original trilogy movies. So some really great sound effects will be in here, not your traditional train sounds. For example, the Star Wars Rebel set will feature Han Solo and Chewbacca as they make their way through their journey. Again, harkening back to their most famous lines from the original trilogy. The Rebel set also includes the famous blue milk. I think it was just a year ago, Lucasfilms and Star Wars did a huge campaign where blue milk was actually sold in stores and able to be drank. I wouldn't necessarily suggest opening these up and taking a drink out of those, but it will have their really cool milky simulated liquid inside of that. It's going to be really cool. And again, what's really great about these pieces is Star Wars really allowed us to have some fun with the pieces that are in there. We got to create specific icons that didn't necessarily exist in the Star Wars universe until our wonderful creative team, Trip, did some designs for them. So it's been a lot of fun and a real honor to work on these projects. And again, we're just getting started. So there's 14 pieces in here. I suggest keep looking out because there's more to come. With rolling stock here, we want to celebrate the most beloved characters in the Star Wars universe. Each one of these character box cars takes you on a journey from when you first see the character within the series to where you see them at the end of the series in the original trilogy, whether it be Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, or the evolution of all the different types of stormtroopers, sand troopers, those types of characters, as well as the beloved droids R2-D2 and C-3PO.
What's on the top here? Oh,
So each one has a unique roof print to it. So whether it's dark side or light side, the dark side of the Force would have the black roof and roof printing there, and the light side of the Force would have the light blue decoration on top of it. And these can all be used interchangeably with either of the sets. They all have like common elements and themes that really make it, whether it's you pick up one or two of them, or you need all of them to be pulled behind your train sets. We wanted to make sure that everything fit together cohesively.
Very nice.
Wouldn't be Star Wars without epic lightsaber battles. So we wanted to highlight some of the great battles in here. You have, Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan after first seeing each other in the original trilogy for the first time after a very long time, their first epic battle in the original trilogy. In The Force Awakens, you have the first time that Rey and Kylo Ren meet. And then in The Phantom Menace, you have the battle between Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn with the Duel of the Fates there. What's really great about these boxcars is the right-hand side illuminates, so all of the lightsabers on there are backlit, which makes it a really fun special detail on these really great scenes that are very memorable.
That's pretty cool. I got to mark this page. What page is that? 122. I got to make my notes to make a promotion on that. That's pretty neat. when you read in Excel or before or whatever, it's hard to get all these extra add-on features, but that's pretty cool. Very neat.
Yeah, these illuminated boxcars are becoming collector pieces in their own right. We started doing the backlight feature probably 2 or 3 catalog cycles ago, and they have just consistently done really well because it's, again, a really fun lighting effect and just adds a special kind of unique lighting to your layout. And we have some great unique add-on pieces as well. We have the Star Wars X-Wing TIE Fighter aquarium car. You have the X-Wing and TIE Fighter battling out through the trenches of the Death Star to eventually take it down. The Great Aquarium car has the motor inside of it, so as the item is powered and on the track, those two ships are going to travel through the trench on the boxcar. And then we have the Star Wars Rebel Chasing Gondola in both dark side and light side. So you have, for the Rebels, you have R2-D2 and C-3PO being chased by a Jawa. And then on the Empire Chasing Gon, you have the Stormtroopers and a little trash droid there as well. A repair droid.
Very cool. This is going to be awesome. So they're going to go around, correct?
Correct.
Awesome.
These have a mechanism in them that as they're being pulled, those characters will move their way around the car.
Very neat. The Stormtroopers is awesome. That's pretty wild.
You can't miss with that one.
Yeah, the orders are coming in good for this stuff. Very good.
And as Lionel is celebrating a big anniversary this year, we have a lot of different brands and licenses that are also celebrating huge milestones as well. For Warner Brothers and DC, that is 90 years of DC. They have the big 3 characters here. We have Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. All feature them from their beginnings to their more modern eras, celebrating all the different ways that they've appeared throughout the comic book series.
Very neat.
For Batman, we have a classic TV illuminated boxcar, again with that really great backlit illumination on it. This one here paying homage to the classic TV show with the great show, like stills from the show. And what was fun this year, and you'll see it in a couple others, is that right-hand panel. We've kind of made it look like it's a TV screen on the side of it. So it's got the knobs with the Batman signal logos on the side on there. Those are always fun.
That's the stuff I grew up with.
Very cool.
Tom and Jerry also celebrated an anniversary this year with 85 years. We have a great Musa boxcar celebrating Tom and Jerry, the characters, and their friendship, or sometimes, as Corey likes to say, frenemies for them. And then another great illuminated cartoon boxcar with that backlighting feature, and a chasing gondola with Tom and Jerry as Tom chases Jerry around the track there.
Yeah, Craig made a nice comment. It is something different, unique. The TV kind of backlit illumination, pretty cool.
Yeah, where there was opportunity to have great deco and have our licensors present us with just some great stills and cartoon images, it made sense to be like, well, what if we made it look like it's an actual TV on the side there?
Yes, Tom and Jerry was a classic.
Harry Potter, while this set is listed here as new, it is the same decoration and everything as the previous version. The only difference being in this particular set was just a government requirement because we changed an internal board in it. We had to give it a new product number, but everything within that set stays the same. What's really great about the Harry Potter items is that they keep allowing us to grow the Harry Potter universe more and more year over year. We have the Hogsmeade flat car, with the great advertisements from the different shops within Hogsmeade. And then as you go to the next page, we continue our series of different movie boxcars. And for the first time, doing the Thomas Kincaid and Harry Potter collaboration pieces and throwing those on boxcars with the Hogwarts Express and the Great Hall.
Awesome stuff.
Mm.
And then I did want to touch really quickly on the butterbeer items. We are, as the Harry Potter teams call it, quickly approaching what they call butterbeer season. Butterbeer is a beverage that carries throughout all of the books and movies in the series. So we had a little fun with that with a butterbeer reefer, butterbeer scented smoke fluid, a tank car with the liquid in it that simulates the look of the beer within it, and the frosty mug type look on that, and a really cool tank to go with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. We went to Universal to experience the Harry Potter theme park, and the line for the butterbeer, everybody went crazy. Everybody loves butterbeer, so I think these will do really well. And the butterbeer scented smoke fluid, that's cute. Very good.
Continuing our series with Kincaid and Disney, we have 2 different holiday boxcars as well as a location-themed Thomas Kincaid Studios painting this year featuring Mickey and Minnie Mouse in Florida. Some new additions to the Disney IP that we are celebrating this year. Stitch is huge and has a new movie coming out here. You might have seen the Super Bowl commercial the other night. Surfing Stitch boxcar. So this is a walking brakeman car. It'll have Stitch on a surfboard making his way across the top of the car there. Additionally, we have some fun Nightmare Before Christmas pieces with a chasing gondola, with Lock, Shock, and Barrel, which are 2 or 3 really great characters from the movie. And the Nightmare Before Christmas Zero aquarium car. Zero is the ghost dog that is a companion to Jack, and he makes his way through different scenes of the movie. Again, interior illumination, has that great belt with the decoration on it. As the engine is, or as the train car is powered, Zero will make his way through the car.
Right, and so again, just 3 new cars here from Angela Trotta Thomas, a really great partner of ours. Her work is amazing, and she is a pleasure to work with. Over to the left, the Commodore Vanderbilt car that we were talking about a little bit earlier. Here's a nod to that locomotive and tender against that snowy white backdrop. That red really just pops off. If you look over to, on that brown car there, this is really special. This is a Well-Stocked Shelves 2 series. So this will be one of 2 cars. And really you get to see some of those really famous, iconic Lionel catalogs. If you look closely there, as well as a few pieces sitting there on the shelf. So that's very exciting. And then just above this car, we have our Christmas Anticipation boxcar. This will be one of 3 series. This one's really special, and I think I relate to quite a bit because you see the boy there. He's looking at his Lionel catalog. He's dreaming about what he might get for Christmas, and he's got his best pal there in the back. And so you can imagine that the next cars in the series will continue that theme, what happens next, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very neat.
Up top, we have Bob Ross. This is one of my favorite not only shows, but favorite people of all time. Everybody inside of Lionel knows that. So it was really a pleasure to work on it. This boxcar up top, it actually has the same roof paint splatter effect as the previous Bob Ross boxcar we offered. This time we're focusing on painting series and starting with painting number 1, which was called A Walk in the Woods. Even people that aren't very familiar with Bob's work would be somewhat familiar with this painting. And what's cool about Bob in general is he has these fun little sayings, as we know. Of course, everybody knows Happy Little Trees, but I'll let Megan kind of talk about some of her really fun pieces as well here.
Yeah, we wanted to have a little bit of fun with what if Bob had his own Happy Little Tree Farm. what would that look like for him? So we have a really great gondola with a tree load and a reefer featuring a unique little Happy Little Tree Farm logo on it, as well as one of Bob's famous paintings. And then we have a covered bridge featuring his painted with the lighted interior and an iconic Bob Ross quote on them.
Yeah, it's funny. I was questioning whether Bob Ross would make it into a whole series, but the amount of people loving the Bob Ross stuff is unbelievable, both in O scale and HO, and it's like they're gobbling it up. It's crazy. It's very cool.
Yeah, both the introduction of Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood through our last catalog title was really received well, and we wanted to keep it going for people to grow their collections. We have the Neighborhood of Make Believe character boxcar, and I'll skip down to the bottom and let Corey talk about the other car. But the Mr. McFeely mail car really pays tribute to Mr. McFeely and his speedy delivery with the blue coat and the speedy delivery logo there. That is an operating car, so it has the box load that you can load out the side of the car there.
Yeah, just above, when you're looking at, we have this behind the scenes Mr. Rogers boxcar. We just wanted to kind of show some of those special pictures from the actual set, and again, give some facts about Fred Rogers as it relates to the show. And then we, of course, use those primary colors you're used to seeing from the program itself to help that pop.
Now, is that actual? That's not going to be on top of the boxcar, correct?
Which elements are you speaking of on top of the box? You need the.
I guess Mr. McFeely.
I took that way too seriously.
No, that's just a graphic of Daniel Tiger.
All right. I thought for a moment there was going to be like the Stitch car where it actually pops out. Okay.
Maybe not this round, but you never know.
Very cool.
We did touch on Thomas a little bit in Battery O section, but I did want to highlight and point out that Thomas is also celebrating a great anniversary this year. We have the 80th anniversary boxcar for Thomas and Friends. This one is kind of a throwback car with the classic Thomas and Friends imagery on it. Again, celebrating a great anniversary and exciting to give another piece of rolling stock for those who collect Thomas. Again, this piece of rolling stock could be pulled by the Battery O set if you choose.
Yeah, it's one of the best sellers in the catalog. Everybody's buying that one.
It's a special anniversary year, so it makes sense.
Yeah, 1 year only. That's it.
Yeah. Finishing off an anniversary is Barbie 65. We did the Decades boxcars last year, hitting up the 50s, 60s, and 70s. This concludes the series with rounding out the 80s and 90s. Again, these great pieces can be run with your traditional electric O-gauge sets or be pulled by the battery-operated set below.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. If you ever attend the 80s party, you got to bring your Lionel Barbie 80s train now.
It fits right in.
That's right.
Another big anniversary here, Mattel 80th, and Megan she's going to kind of break down this a little bit, but another important feature to remember on some of the Musa cars you see, those printed and assembled cars here in North Carolina, is they have roof print. So there on the top there, you see it's Swell, it's Mattel. Just a nice touch. But go ahead, Megan, and tell them about the Una car as well.
Oh, I apologize for talking over you, Corey, for a second there, but the 80th anniversary boxcar is really cool because it does kind of give you all those iconic brands that's been under the Mattel umbrella, with all the classic images and logos there. On the Uno boxcar, what's really fun about this is it's just a really bright and fun car. I don't know, I'm sure everyone has played a game of Uno and hit that epic draw 4 card and been so frustrated. So we have that really fun within, when you open the door there's a nice little draw 4 card there for you to look at and be reminded of the time that you had to draw those extra 4 cards there.
Mm-hmm.
We also have the Rock'em Sock'em Robots Chasing Gondola. what a fun piece there. It has the robot sculpts on there, so those will move around the car as it's being pulled down the track. Again, this is one of those iconic games that the kids used to play, and being able to do these sculpts here is going to be really fun. The colors are bright. It reminds you of the fun board games and games that you played when you were a kid.
I thought this was one of the cooler items in the catalog, something different that you would never guessed in the Lionel catalog. But, you know, everybody remembers this Rock'em Sock'em robots, and to go around, that's pretty neat. That was very clever.
All right. Peanuts, another big anniversary. 2025 is very important to a lot of companies. Up top here, I just want to highlight that, again, just more of a core branded celebration of Peanuts here. Of course, happiness is 75 years of Peanuts. And they have a really, really amazing logo that they've used, which highlights the character silhouettes with that balloon there that says 75th. And, of course, the roof print to follow. And lots of other pieces that Megan and Tracy will talk about.
Yeah, Peanuts is really known for those great TV specials. So we wanted to highlight a few of those here. We have It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown illuminated TV boxcar, again with that really great lighting effect and the simulated TV on the side, with all the classic moments of that TV show. We also feature the Charlie Brown Christmas with an aquarium car there, the great scene where all of the characters are dancing on stage. Those characters will be included on a belt that will run within the aquarium car. Has that motor with the on-off switch on it for lighting. But again, track powered, those characters will move through the car as the train is powered.
And then we stayed with the two popular movies to do the trolleys, solid LED lights on the inside, the silhouettes on the windows, just highlighting different characters from the movies. The one little catch on the Christmas trolley, if you notice at the back left, we were taking the pole on the top and kind of bending it and adding a little branches or little limbs off to the side to make it kind of look like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree, being sad, and, you know, the whole the best way we could do to honor that part, because what's Charlie Brown without his Christmas tree? So
don't return it if it's a bent pole.
Yeah.
It's a Charlie Brown Christmas tree antenna. Very cool. That's unique. I quite honestly, I didn't know if that was an oversight or if you were actually producing that way. Very cool.
Yep.
Clever.
Now, at the end of that pole, there's a red something. Does that light up or anything?
It doesn't light up. It's just colored red.
Okay.
Because Charlie Brown, you're not going to get it lighted on his tree.
Very cool. Cute.
Keeping up with great IP with the Ford and Chevy here. Again, these all match all items that we've done in the past. So just adding on to people that collect all of the Ford and Chevy branded items. We have the Maxi Stack cars.
Along with the oil pumps. So kind of going along with the same theme.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
For John Deere, we have 2 additional reefers. We try to do 1 or 2 of these a year. Have the classic John Deere imagery and the iconic John Deere green and yellow, and a really fun piece that Tracy would want to talk about.
Yeah, we have 6 different trucks, old-time trucks throughout the magazine, moving forward from here on out. Just kind of getting back to, you know, the John Deere, the old logo and theme to go with the trucks. This one in particular will have a sheet over the bed. The other ones coming forward will have boxes that will be in them. So just the lights light up, they run on your track. Just add a little something to it.
And they also have TMCC on board as well.
Yep, and there to the right. If you've been a collector of any of the Wings of Angels box cars we've offered through the years, really going back to 2021, then these are going to be a nice addition to that collection. We do plan to continue to come out with these, so if you haven't started yet, there's still time. And what's nice is you're going to get a lot of consistent theme with the roof print, Wings of Angels logo, but also the door, while also having fun with pops of color. And if you're into World War II, post World War II, this is definitely right up in your area of interest right here.
Mm-hmm.
Very neat.
Continuing with Anheuser-Busch and Budweiser, we have the Budweiser illuminated bar sign. This is number 2 out of a new series that we're doing. What Anheuser-Busch distributors and Budweiser distributors would do is they would produce all of these really great neons and either offer them at a discount or as gifts to distributors and bars who place the biggest orders with them. So there's all kinds of different neons throughout the years. Anheuser-Busch provided us with a lot of historic assets of all the different neons that they have done.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the really great King of Beers served here, one featured on this one, with the iconic Clydesdales within the middle of it. These are being really well received and fun to be able to continue to add on to those. We'll also keep going with the Reefer series with their vintage ads as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then another TMCC truck for Budweiser. The crates in the back do come out, so you'll be able to kind of move them around. And then the beer garden at the bottom is a plug, expand, play. So you real easy to use. Just plug it into the track, and the person to the right will move. So just to add a little bit to your set.
Yeah.
The beer garden's cool. That was neat.
Yeah, it turned out pretty well.
And I love the illuminated sign. Gives it that retro look.
All right, so we've also started a new series really around railroad history, American history, but not always tied to necessarily a place, or it could be tied to a specific person, right, or a piece of literature, things of that nature. But on this spread in particular, we're celebrating railroad history. And first, we have the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania on their 50th anniversary. If you've ever been to this museum, it's pretty massive and significant. Just an overall history and the assortment of just locomotives and sheer square footage is quite astonishing. We have our 100th anniversary of the Orange Blossom Special. And just a little hint here is that this locomotive is used to sort of lure the Northerners out during those winter months, bring them down to Florida where the sun is plenty. And that kind of goes along with the striking look it has with sort of the Florida oranges and lime and that sort of theme. And then probably one of the most significant anniversaries this year, and it's over in England, they're having huge festivals, is the Stockton and Darlington 200th anniversary. So this is really the birth of the modern railway, and sections of this railway are still open for tourists today. Again, just taking a moment to really give respect and homage back to those places and events.
Mm-hmm.
And here, just switching gears a little bit, we're looking at American history. So we have the Navy's 250th, which is very significant. And so on one side of the car, you have sort of a old school throwback look, right? The old Navy ads and the ships.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other side, you see some of the modern aircraft and vessels that we still use today. Nice, roof print there with the American flag. And then the other 3 boxcars here are really a play on the American Revolutionary War and just the significance of it. And so we have Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. We have the Battle of Bunker Hill and the Battle of Lexington and Concord. Huge events in American history. And so it made total sense to kind of pair these together. As Tracy was alluding to earlier, we lead up to America's big birthday.
Very neat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on to Area 51. We had the Area 51 Ready to Run set featured in 2024 C2. We have some great add-on pieces continuing onto that. with a great flat car, with an alien load, as well as some other pieces here.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Take me to your leader, alien flat car. That's great. It really comes with the alien? Megan, was it you?
No. I know who, but
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Good thinking.
The other pieces there, again, another cleaning track. The tank will glow in the dark on that one. And then on the right-hand side, the trolley at the top is, again, LED lights that will be rotating on the inside. There's also a green light that will shine from underneath. And then the TMCC truck, as you can see, the crates will glow in the dark, as well as the headlights and the strobe light on top.
Mm-hmm.
I think before the show, when we were looking at the pre-orders, the Area 51 stuff does very well. A lot of people like it. This did very well. The truck that's lights up. Very cool.
Yeah,
all right, Megan, we know this is your specialty. Here you come.
It's not just me anymore. I
That's
I
right.
know, but you get so excited over Halloween.
really do.
And then so the rest of us are stealing our thunder now. We're coming in and getting
Yeah,
on the Halloween.
I love Halloween, but Ryan's Halloween stuff is really cool this year. So is Tracy's. I know someone asked in the comment about Whispering Rails, and I'm really excited that we've got that fun road name in here. Ryan did a great job with the Vision logo there. Right, it glows in the dark, which is awesome.
Yeah. To answer the question for Craig, yes, you can look for more Whispering Rails passenger cars and content to come. So much goodness to try and pack into the catalog. Sometimes things get spread around a little bit. This is actually a theme that came up with one of Megan's earlier projects, and then I stole it for this one. It was fair trade on some of the Christmas stuff that we've been battling back and forth over. So, so yes, definitely look for more for this and for all of our other Halloween trains as well. It continues to grow year over year for us.
And Tracy did an excellent job on these disconnect cars on there. They're all really cool and unique. So I hope everyone agrees. They all look awesome.
Yeah, and the ones on top the ones that you're showing there will tip to the right. So you can actually put candy in them and they'll fall out or whatever you want to carry in there. So
perfect for candy corns.
Yeah.
Very neat.
Now, Ryan, on this big engine here, the Flying Dutchman, the glow in the dark, is it a blue? It turns into a blue color, or?
Yeah, similar to what we did with the triplex this past year. Different sections of the model are finished in a different coating, so it's all a clear coat under normal lighting. You won't see the colors, but once you put it under the UV light and get it into the dark, you'll see the light blue, the dark blue, and the green will all pop out in different areas on the model.
Really? Yeah. So basically, it's it changes color. The whole thing changes color.
Keeping up with the glow in the dark theme here, we have some really fun Disney cars. 4 different schemes. You have classic Mickey and Friends. You have Star Wars getting into the mix. Nightmare Before Christmas and Stitch. What's great about these is all the deco again appears normal. As you give it a little light and turn the lights down, all of the areas that you see there in green will glow.
I love the Star Wars one. Have a galactic Halloween. That's hysterical.
Yeah, these were really fun to do. I've had samples in house. Again, just it sitting in a bright room and then turning the lights off. It has a really great glowing effect. You can hit it with a flashlight to really charge up the glow, but the glow does last pretty long on these. We had a little fun based off of all the comments that we got out of the Fezziwig series. We went the literary route again with these Halloween cars here, paying tribute to Edgar Allan Poe's classic works. We have the Haunted Hollow Wings of Raven boxcar, the Haunted Hollow Hearts brand stock car, and the Haunted Hollow tonic water tank. So you have the Fall of the House of Usher. You have Telltale Heart. Again, really fun to just kind of have those small nods on there where if you're not really looking for it, when you see it go by, you're like, oh, okay, I kind of get that. So really fun pieces. And then we have a Whispering Rails car with piggyback trailers as well.
Mm-hmm.
And something new for Lionel on the top left, we now are trying trailer homes. So they're plug, expand, play. The Halloween and the Christmas versions also have lights on the inside, but they also have the lights on the outside of the trailer homes. A lot of decorations on these. Everyone had their own ideas as to how to do them. So going forward, there's a lot of different avenues that we can go. So they're a lot of fun. And then one other thing on the bottom right, the other stands are kind of the same, but on the bottom right, the platform station. One thing that will be unique with this is the lights. Will also plug, expand, play, but the lights will flicker on the platform to kind of give that Halloween feel as you're standing there waiting, dead at night, and things start to get eerie, and the lights will flicker and stuff. So just to kind of add a little bit of Halloween spirit to the thing.
Very nice. Very nice.
Now, you do have to make a Christmas Griswold Eddie trailer park in the future.
We will add that to the list.
But the Halloween one's really good. Really cool. Very clever.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie's Ghostly Grubs. Cool.
And that's plug, expand, play. So the dog will move along with the customer.
Tracy, you should mention the parking spaces on
if you go down one to the picture below, you can see a little bit on top. There's a parking space on top for witches and their brooms. So
oh, that's funny.
Just to add a little,
that's cute. Yeah.
Little space for them if it's a tight spot.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Good stuff. All right, Christmas.
All right. Well, after a big year for Polar last year, we scaled things back just a little bit this time around, but still wanted to include a few new things as we always do. So we've got the Polar version of the Commodore Vanderbilt, and of course, as we've been doing an annual freight car in the scale series for Polar for quite some time now. Also did one with with the gondola with the different canister loads this time, a whole variety of different candies, and good stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
And I did see a comment pop up about the recently delivered Polar Express observation cars. Please look for something to be posted in the next day or so on that.
Mm-hmm.
Hope to get it out today, but just too many other things in the fire.
And then on the top left, we have Heisler with the toy, a lot of disconnects connected to it. So the Heislers, as Ryan talked earlier, the same setup as those. It's just as a complete set. We have two caboose or two observation things in the back for elves and one for the chief elf in charge. And then the caboose on the last piece has Santa Claus that you cannot see in the picture, but Santa Claus will be standing on the on the walkway on the back.
Okay.
So.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This North Pole Central Vandy is beautiful. Really cool paint schemes. It's going to be really sleek. And is that going to be glossy or just like a standard flat?
Again, this will also have a little bit of a gloss to it as well. Not dripping high gloss, but yes, some gloss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then
Use
more,
it.
more dump cars, more the disconnects, kind of like the Halloween just for Christmas.
Maybe put some cookies in there. Cookies for Santa.
Couldn't leave Star Wars out of the mix for Christmas. We have two really great unique boxcars there. The popularity of Grogu, or AKA Baby Yoda, on The Mandalorian. So we had to make sure we featured him somewhere. And then also a Merry Force Be With You Star Wars Christmas boxcar featuring Darth Vader and Stormtroopers, as well as Chewbacca and Yoda.
Chewy. Gotta have Chewy.
Gotta have Chewie. Also, a really great Frozen piece to add to your Frozen sets or a separate sale. And then the Disney Stitch Christmas boxcar, kind of that fun Florida or tropical Christmas theme on there. And what's fun about that, it has the door peak there with Stitch's little buddy in the insert.
Very cute.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the nicest Christmas sets I've seen. We have the Peppermint Railroad 080 Christmas freight set. The Peppermint Railroad theme did really well as a separate sale piece. We wanted to bring it into the LionChief world as well. Has three great pieces of rolling stock with it. You have the reefer car with the interior door insert carrying some Kringle cookies. You have the VAT car carrying the Santa's Choice hot chocolate, and then a great lighted Peppermint Railroad caboose. We also offer some different pieces of just separate sale Christmas rolling stock that either tie into different Christmas road names like Winter Wonderland, Sled X, or the great Sleigh Bell Limited series as well, with that gondola with trees and presents load.
A lot of people loving this car.
Yeah.
A lot of pre-orders on it. Looks really nice.
Yeah. One of the best pre-orders in the catalog, for sure. Mm.
Yeah, the Sleigh Bell Limited, again, one of those Christmas things that I just had to steal from Ryan. The creative team here and Sarah did a really great job creating this paint scheme, and it looks great on everything we do.
Yeah.
And then we have the 2025 Christmas boxcars for the first time in O scale with the PS1 boxcar, and then continuing this great deco scheme across all scales, whether it be HO, American Flyer, or traditional O gauge. So no matter which way you collect or model, this great 2025 boxcar can be a collector's item for you.
Very nice. And as usual, make sure you pre-order your Christmas boxcars. Every year, it's the best seller in the catalog, and always that iconic staple that you got to collect one every year.
Yeah. With the Christmas boxcar this year, we also did the 2025 Christmas sound boxcar as kind of a companion piece to it. So the art and color scheme is very similar. And then on the top of the page there, you have the Surfing Santa boxcar. So like Stitch on previous pages, Santa's going to be posted on the top of that on his surfboard and tropical drink, celebrating a Hawaiian Christmas. And then we have the Winter Wonderland flat car with piggyback trailers. So it goes great with the Winter Wonderland set, or if you just want to continue to add on to your Christmas layout.
Mm-hmm.
We're continuing with the Christmas theme. We at the top left is our Christmas trailer home. Not quite the Griswolds, but it is has outdoor lights to it that go around the edge, and then LED lights on the inside as well. And at the bottom is our TMCC truck for the North Pole Central. Same setup as the other ones, with the 2 extra pads for cleaning in it. The TMC truck at the top with the removable crates in the back. And and then the trolley at the bottom that will have rotating lights on the inside, and then it will have the red LED lights underneath that will shine on the outside.
Mm-hmm. Wow. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Mm. Mm.
And here again, we have another one of the cranes, Union Pacific at the top. The bottom for the sound workhouse that will be able to connect to your crane. So that will, if you need sound or want sound for your crane, you definitely want to get the sound house at the bottom. And then on the right-hand side, we have World War II for the platform at the top with LED lights, plug, expand, play as well, with the World War signs on the fences. And then we have two more trailer homes, one for the beach and one for the USA. These will have indoor lights, but they will not have exterior lights. So these are just on the inside, but still have the fun plug, expand, play, and a lot of deco to them, a lot of decorations.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
And then we have another tank, oil tank, glow in the dark, as you can see. On the other side, we have the wind turbine, which we have had for a while, but bringing it back, a lot of people have been asking for it, and we've not had it in the catalog. So it's not new, but just trying to highlight that we do have it back. And then at the bottom is fake news stand number 2. So if you have one, you can have them. The first one that Megan did, you can have on one side of your set, and then number 2 can be on the other side. So
are these different graphics or the same?
Nope, they're different.
Different. Okay. Got
yep.
Cool.
So.
Okay.
That's kind of it. Everything's kind of like restocks, right?
Yes. From here we get into our track and power and some of our evergreen items that are always available, but also want to make sure that those still have a place in the catalog for those looking to complete your empire, putting it all in one place. So despite our best efforts to say, oh, we won't cover everything in there tonight, you can't help yourself. You start getting into the Lionel catalog, and it's like building your Christmas wish list. So definitely you sort of have to ride through it. But yeah, lots of goodies still there, and thanks for taking the time to walk through it all with us.
That's awesome.
Your team is very creative. They've made some great stuff in here, and they just keep adding on to these different little pockets of items. Like the Halloween and Christmas, there's like no end to it anymore. Just keeps going and going, and the people are eating it up and pre-ordering it and buying it, and it's just like the more you design, the more they're going to buy. It's just that simple.
And make sure you get your pre-orders in. Rye, when's the pre-order deadline? You said maybe a week?
The 19th, I believe. We have as our deadline out there is the 19th.
So it's coming up quick. And Ken Senior, why is pre-ordering so important?
Sometimes you only get one shot. I tell you, last year's catalogs, the stuff that just came out in the last couple of months is already drying up rapidly, and the prices are going up, and people are frustrated they can't find certain things. You gotta get your order in. You get it at the opening prices. You're guaranteed to get it. If you wait till it comes out to even see it, it may be too late. Just may be. It's like that's why sometimes at the train shows, when you go to a show that Lionel is at, and you get to see some of this stuff, the pre-orders just come in right after a show. People need to see it, feel it, touch it, and talk to you guys. You guys are the experts, and they have questions and they need answers. And something like this, all these people typing in, and you answered a lot of their questions just by going through the catalog. So I expect the pre-orders to get pretty good by tomorrow for sure. Thank you guys. Thank you.
And again, if you head to trainworld.com, we have it nice and simple for you. We have the new Lionel catalog. If you click here or on the top, and you could get started with all your Lionel items, but tons of items to pre-order. And this is just O scale, or over close to 400 items, tons of product, and you could sort whichever way you need. If you want pre-orders, engine style, rolling stock, road name, we could make it very simple for you. If you want to cover structures that you covered, it kind of just make it really simple, because it's hard to find out of 400 items to scroll through every section by section, but we try to make it as simple as possible for you. But we do pre-orders. It's very simple, and we kind of are the pre-order powerhouse. So if you're looking to pre-order any of your Lionel items on this beautiful new 125th anniversary catalog, we have it for you at trainworld.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ken Sr., you got your work cut out for you.
I tell you, I really do. It's a lot of stuff in here. A lot of stuff, a lot of dollars, a lot of good stuff. It's all about the pre-orders. The consumer tells us what they like, and we just go from there. And they got a lot of tough choices this time. A lot of tough choices. It's you can't buy one of everything. You just can't. It's just too much stuff. But great stuff.
Now, we did an influencer top pick, and we had a bunch of different answers. Chris Rains, Chris Montana, Ben's Trains. A lot of people had great picks from the new catalog. I want to hear what's your guys' top picks. So let's go with the Lionel team. We'll put you on the hot seat tonight.
Star Wars for me, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Any specific Star Wars, Megan?
All of it.
All right.
A little more specific, maybe.
Personally, I have the Empire set on order, as well as one of the illuminated boxcars.
Okay.
Cool. Very good. Non-Halloween. I wouldn't have expected that, but Star Wars, it's a new year. New Megan. All right, Ryan.
No, this might be the first time that Megan actually outspends me in a catalog with all the Star Wars stuff. And I think that's great. I sort of tipped my hat earlier to the 20th Century Limited. That's just such a cool set. But also, personal favorite for me, the one thing that for sure is coming home, believe it or not, actually the Mr. McFeely mail speed delivery boxcar. I love it. Mr. Rogers was like my first childhood hero growing up. So that whole licensing thing just strikes a chord. And, that's the fun part of the Lionel train things. Is as serious a modeler as I am, sometimes it's just like to have some fun. And, I said that one's personal. So definitely getting that one.
I guess you throw in your personal favorites in the creative department to see what sticks from your childhood memories.
Well, speaking of which, mine was going to be Barbie. I think Battery, I said, just because it was such a part of my childhood, and I had so much fun doing it. So
very cool, awesome, good stuff.
I like the lightsaber cars for the Star Wars. You think of Star Wars, you think of the lightsaber battles everywhere.
Yeah.
Growing up as a kid, you wanted those lightsabers. When you watch the movie, it's like, where am I going to get mine? So to see those and have them light up and stuff. Pretty cool.
That was pretty neat. Ken Sr., have you changed your mind on your top pick, or?
I'm still I like play value. I like to watch the items in motion with the Star Wars, the chasing gondola. I think that kind of stuff just it makes me go back a few years. Wish I was young again. Just a lot of play value.
No. And what's amazing about this catalog, and every time we talk about this catalog, you change your mind because there's so many different items. And today, you some of you probably learned about the auto rack with the cool features, or the lightsabers, they actually light up. So every time you learn a little more about this catalog, there could be a different choice. And there really are so many great specific things. And I didn't even know about the TV kind of illumination, kind of like that TV classic set. So a lot of great stuff and a lot of good stuff that we learned about tonight. And if anyone out there, we want to hear from you. What's your favorite Lionel pick from this catalog? So put it in the chat. We want to hear from you guys out there to hear what your favorite is. But Ken Sr., what's been the top most pre-ordered items that you've seen so far?
Ooh. The Christmas box car, the Thomas anniversary box car, the Christmas gondola with the trees, and the full-scale Hudsons are just, the numbers are staggering, just staggering. It's just like everyone who has a layout is going to have a new Hudson, and it's just like across the board of all these numbers and the blow down tenders. It's just a huge amount of engines, and there's also I guess there's one engine that we didn't announce, that presidential engine. It's everybody got to take a look at that. The numbers are staggering on that too. Just good. It's in theme with this year. Let's put it that way.
Yep. So lots of great stuff from this catalog, something for everyone. And we really appreciate everyone joining us on tonight. Appreciate the Lionel team for being on tonight. We really got it covered on all aspects, whether it's traditional, high-end, Halloween, Christmas, Barbie, or accessories. We really appreciate Lionel sending the team to talk about all the great items in their catalog. And don't forget, the pre-order deadline is next week to make sure that you get any of these great Lionel items in. So make sure you head to trainworld.com and place your Lionel pre-orders with Trainworld. So we appreciate. Thank you, Lionel. Thank you, Ken Sr., for joining us. Thank you, everybody out there. We really appreciate having you on tonight. And we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night. Good night, all. Good night. Thank you. Thank you.